Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here today. And I guess my job is to present a spiritual understanding of human rights. When I was meditating on my talk, I had this image of like a banquet that thousands of people are invited to the banquet. And on the table, there's twice as much food as anyone needs, and there's extra chairs, and there's plenty of table room, and there's party favors for everybody. But there's a few people who take all the food and the favors, everything, the flowers, and they're eating it, and it's dropping on the floor and being wasted, and they're hoarding it in big containers where it's spoiling. And a few people who are sitting close to them get the crumbs that come out as the greedy people are eating so fast. And the people, many of the people at the end of the table get nothing. And it's kind of a metaphor for our world today, and a metaphor for the trickle-down theory. But actually, I've been to a lot of dinners that were uncomfortable or awkward, but I've never been to a dinner where food wasn't shared. I've never been with people where food wasn't shared and there wasn't a spirit of generosity. And that's because human nature is love. That's what Buddha taught. Or Christ taught. All beings have wisdom and compassion of the awakened one, only we don't see it because of upside-down thinking. We suffer because we see ourselves as separate from everything else. We think there are a lot of different boats.
Jesus Christ is the answer.
We yearn for what we don't have,
John
and we reject
3:16.
what we do have,
Jesus
and
Christ
ignore
is
the
answer,
fact
not
of the
Buddha.
oneness of all things. Buddha said the three poisons of
Not
greed,
Buddha,
anger, and
Jesus
ignorance
Christ.
cause our
John
suffering
3:16.
because they block us from awakening to our true nature.
In my opinion, I have a right to expect you're a tool.
The nature of human beings is to be spiritual. Many of us are living in ignorance of that fact. But as humans, we are spiritual beings. As spiritual beings, each of us can have the mystical experience of realizing our true nature, or becoming one with God, or becoming one with Christ. We are all 100%.
John 3:16.
I am Bill Gates, Rupert Murdoch, and the child in Tijuana right now who's starving. When we see this, then of course it makes no sense to hoard wealth and not share with others. As Christ expressed it, the hungry, the homeless, and the oppressed are me. As we wake up, we realize that the energy of greed is the same as the energy of compassion. It's the same energy. It's just when love is twisted, it becomes greed. And twisted greed becomes addiction. Addiction is blind craving, and the addict will consume until she dies. The energy of hatred is the same as the energy of wisdom. Wisdom is seeing the diversity in the oneness. There is the 99% and the 1%. There is right and wrong. When wisdom is twisted, it becomes hatred. And twisted hatred becomes violence. A violent person will try to solve all problems through force. I heard a therapist characterize Jung's understanding of neurosis as neurosis is the pain that comes from the disconnect from a person's thoughts and reality. Buddha said the same thing. We suffer because of greed, anger, and ignorance, and those three poisons arise out of ideas and concepts. The three poisons are ideas and concepts separate us from reality. That is why I particularly like the aspect of the Occupy movement that is not to set specific demands or platform, From a spiritual standpoint, any ism is an idea and dangerous. Capitalism, socialism, Buddhism, democracy, autocracy are all constructs and can be powerful and dangerous tools. From a spiritual sense, the oneness of all things comes from not knowing, or the mystery of life. To dwell in not knowing without preconceived ideas is the path to happiness. In the Peacemaker order, we say, first be not knowing and open up to all things. Then bear witness without judgment to life as it is. Then naturally we see what loving action is. Right now, as the people of the world are bearing witness to the fact that what we have is not working. We are full of greed, anger, and ignorance, and we are not happy. Out of this bearing witness, such as we are doing today, will come appropriate, loving action. A corporation is also a construct. A corporation is like a machine that will just blindly follow whatever its directive is. If the directive is make more money, the corporation will endlessly create more wealth for itself regardless of reality. The corporation is oblivious to the destruction, pain, and suffering that its greedy mandate creates. To equate a corporation to a person is spiritual blasphemy. As corporations and ideological isms become more and more powerful, human rights start to disappear. In the movement for human rights, we must cultivate the spiritual values of compassion, caring for all things as I care for myself. We must cultivate the wisdom to see the difference and see what needs to change to promote human rights, and we must strive to see true reality with a clear eye. We must all practice to sync our outside world with our inner world. Drop ideas and concepts, practice not knowing, and get to know our true self, which is way bigger, deeper, more beautiful, and way more fun than any of our separating ideas. I have a chant that we could all chant together if you'd like. The first part is an atonement for our own greed, anger, and ignorance. And the second part is our vow to open our mind and hearts to the oneness of all worlds and to send that love to all beings. So if you'd like, I'll say it and you can repeat it. So that's my check, I guess. All evil karma ever committed by me. Ever committed by me. Since of old. On account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance. On account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance. Now I atone for it all. Now I atone for it all. May my heart and mind, open up to true reality. And may I achieve the peace, and happiness of being joyful, in the moment. May all beings be well. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be free from suffering.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, that was beautiful. Chaplain Ron, who's been with Occupy from the beginning, would like to say a few words.